In this episode, I'll be going over Survivor. We are back, season 47, episode 1, titled One Glorious and Perfect Episode. So let's dive into Survivor, season 47, episode 1.
Do something, man. People are questioning you. Shut up. Shut up. Okay, yep, do that. Sure, guys. Stupid and dumb. Just an idiot. Get your shit together, son. Fuck it. I loved it. Welcome to the Dub Cast.
Episode 1 begins. We are back. The vibes are good. Pretty solid episode. Give it like a 4 out of 5. 7 out of 10, something to that effort. Pretty solid episode. Wasn't thrilled with the boot, to be honest. Full spoilers ahead. Did not want to see my man John go right away. He seemed like a chill guy, famous from his podcast, Pod Save America, wrote speeches for Hillary, wrote speeches for Obama. You know the vibes. Poor dude left his famous job to go out there for 3 days, then come back, but fucking Andy, all-time crash out. I don't know what bro was on. I'm liking a lot of this cast though. Seems like a more chill, good vibes cast. So let's dive right into it. We got our opening confessionals. These are going to be important for the winner edit, which I don't know anything about. I'm gonna have to do my research after this episode, see who people think are going to win. Every episode I'll give my top 3 winner candidates and then my top 3 voted out next candidates. This is going to be my full first season covering Survivor. I covered some of season 46 because I started my podcast halfway through that season, but this season we're here for the full ride. I got some guests that may come on and join me, so it should be a fun ride. If this is a new channel for you, subscribe. I do other things. I do movie reviews, I do TV reviews, I do sports, but enough of that. Let's dive into this episode. So really the only opening confessional that spoke out to me was Sam's. He says he's going to be a wolf in wolf's clothing. Bad idea, bro. Horrible idea. We'll talk about Sam a little bit later, but Sam was one of my favorites coming into the season. I am in 2 drafts, so I did do my research on who I wanted to take and who I didn't want to take. I ended up taking Sam in one of them. I just like Sam. I like his vibe. He seems like a chill guy. I'm not sure about his winning prospects potentially right now, but we'll see. I don't know. I just feel like going in with the idea that you want to be a wolf in wolf's clothing, not ideal, man. My GOAT, Tom Brady, the wolf in sheep's clothing, you gotta do that shit, bro. You gotta look, you can't be on the over the top. You can't be a threat because they'll take you right out of this fucking game in this new era. So, didn't love that from my boy Sam. We get to the mat. Andy, immediately, the crash out. We should have seen the signs coming from here. He says how he wore Grateful Dead shirts in high school to become a stoner and fake being a stoner, but he's terrified of weed. Why don't you pretend to like sport? I'm a guy who likes sports and I don't play. I never played football, but I love I guess that's a pretty basic ass thing to say, but I never played football. I love football. Go to sports, go to Pokemon, go to Minecraft. Why would you try and become a stoner when you're afraid of weed? You're gonna get immediately put into the situations of that was just really dumb to me. So that showed inawareness right away. And yeah, he says he has 4 friends in high school. John was 4 friends in high school. That sounds nice. Feel bad for John. Luckily for you, you started a podcast network and have $1 million now, so that's all good for you. Moving on, we got a new challenge to start the season. Usually this one seemed a little more intense. They had Andy hype it up a little bit. You had to run into the woods, get puzzle pieces, unlock them in 3 different obstacles, come back with them. So this was a different, interesting way to start the season. I kept the image in my head of season 47 before this was just that clip of Kyle running into the water or running into get the puzzle pieces when they follow him on that camera behind his back. So I've been seeing that all this time, and then it finally came true. That's where it's from, the opening challenge. Decent challenge, pretty close. You have to come back, get the puzzle pieces, do a puzzle at the end. So pretty close challenge throughout. I think, was it red or blue that was in the beginning? That was way ahead. I think it was blue. Blue's killing it, but yellow comes last, but they solve the puzzle, which is ironic considering the end of the first immunity challenge, but They are going to solve the puzzle. Good comeback. We love a Survivor comeback. Seems like Survivor comebacks happen like every other week. It's either like a blowout or a comeback. So good for Yellow. They win supplies in the first challenge. No sweater savvy shit. They just get them right away. Well, the other two are going to have to go do something else. So instead of the sweater savvy, which has been notoriously replaced, RIP Sweat and Savvy, 6 seasons. You had a good run. Won't really miss it because it's not. We want to meet the people. We don't need to see them doing fucking 5 challenges in the first episode. Anyways, this time one person has to go on a journey basically for each of the tribes, for each of the losing tribes. So for the red tribe, Asia, I will be rooting for Asia. She's on Rob Has a Podcast. I love Rob Has a Podcast. So shout out my Rob Has a Podcast people. I like Asia. But she volunteers to go, which I don't like at all. You don't want to go on these things. It's just like simple math. Why would I go on any of them? I'm staying the fuck away. So 3 people want to go for blue. It's Tiana, TK, and Caroline, I believe. And they say like one person's going to throw rock and one person's going to throw, or maybe it was Gabe, not Caroline. Either way, all 3 of them are going to throw rock and scissor, and the one that throws the odd one out is just going to be the one that goes. And so 2 of them throw rock, and TK throws paper. 1,000 IQ or 0 IQ? I'm going to give him 1,000 IQ. I like TK so far. He seems like the kind of challenge guy that wants to come and do the challenges and be a beast at them. So I'm with it. Let's go, TK. So he's going to be the one going with Asia on this journey. So back to camp, we get our first scene of everyone intermingling, starting with Yellow Tribe. So Andy has a nice, cool editing scene where he writes the factorial of working numbers, securing the numbers, immediately pulls John to the side, which is an integral relationship in this first episode. Yeah, that was a cool editing thing, but then he immediately, like, the thing is, but like, if I ever went on Survivor, the hardest day is going to be the first day, because it's like, if you leave and go and try and talk to people, you're a target, but if you stay and hang out with everybody, like, you're never going to have the time. I think it's like day 1, you just chill. Day 2, you go out, and that's when you start, making moves. Maybe it's too late. Maybe you're already done. Like, that's the worry. This is the hardest part of the game, I think. But Andy takes John to the side, and they are going to have a little alliance. And that just makes the other 4 people be like, hey, why don't we take out them? They're on their own. I feel good about us 4. It's Sam and the 3 girls, Annika, Rachel, and Sierra. So that's a good little quartet. I like all those people. So that's what the main takeaway from the Yellow Tribe. Moving to the Blue Tribe, we had Gabe, who preseason said he wants to work with Sue desperately. They're on the same tribe, so here we go. Light up the beam. Right away, he pulls her to the side, says he wants to work with her, seeking her out for an alliance. And also Caroline is Sue's sort of daughter figure on the show, so she wants to work with her as well. So that's kind of the dynamics on Blue for now. Gabe and Sue. Sue and Caroline. Sue's kind of the center of everything, which is really good for Sue because usually older women are cast to the side early. So good to see that for Sue. Moving to the Red Tribe, we had Teeny and Kishan get along. Kishan is an emergency room doctor, which he talked about kind of annoyingly and saying he's really good at it. I mean, I get it, you have pride, good for you, but we don't need to, let's take it back a level. Rome and Genevieve get along, which is not good because eventually everyone else is just makes an alliance. They're trying to turn the 3 into a 4 with Rome, but they're saving a 4th spot for Asia with just kicking out Genevieve, I think. So Genevieve was like invisible in this episode. I don't know anything about her. Asia's on the journey. So that leaves Rome, Keyshawn, and Soul too. Soul seems like he has good vibes, but we don't know anything about him either. I feel like this was a really bad edited episode, just because we didn't really get to meet everyone. Usually everyone gets a confessional. I don't remember Soul saying anything. I mean, maybe he did. I don't remember Genevieve saying anything, especially this Red Tribe seems a little tinted in the way it was edited. I don't know, maybe just me there. So that's the dynamics on Red for now. Moving to this challenge, the one-on-one challenge, we have Asia versus TK to run through the jungle and get supplies. You find a key on a picture and then get your next picture, go find another key. Eventually when you get to the 4th one, it's in the ocean, so you have to find it in the ocean. Asia finds it initially, gets the key. Last key, she sees that it's in the ocean, but she gets lost in the woods, so TK overtakes her, finds the right way back. He's in the ocean looking for it, and then Asia scrapping for that key. I respect it. He's got it like right here, and she tries to take it away, but albeit TK wins this for his tribe, bringing back good supplies. good for you. I really like both of them so far, so didn't really care who won that. I wanted Asia to win because Asia's like my number one on this number one or two favorite so far. But alas, TK wins, so someone has to win, someone has to lose. Moving on to back to the Yellow Tribe, Sam talks about being a glue guy. This is straight John Rothstein, if anyone gets the reference on that. He says, you want to be the glue guy, you don't want to be the best player on the team, you don't want to be a star. You have to be the guy that when your number's called, you'll always do your job. Glue guys make college basketball. I love college basketball, so that was a really cool reference for me. I understood it completely. And he also says, when you show up to the party and then it's like, all right, everyone's here. Hopefully people feel like that about me, but I don't know. Maybe not. So on Blue Tribe, we have Major Chaos. Gabe seemingly coincidentally finds this advantage when he's moving along with TK. It's like in the grove of a log. He grabs it, puts his hand over it so TK can't see. So this beware is very convoluted. So you have to dig a hole and in the path, and then after you get that, there's a box, and you need to get a key off a rock face, which he has to hit down with vines. But while he's trying to hit down the vines and hit down the key, who shows up but TK? So now TK sees him, and then this kind of creates a little friction because Gabe thinks that TK didn't see him, but TK did see him. So, TK distrusting Gabe. It seems like Gabe's in a world of hurt here, especially, well, not really, because what happens later doesn't really matter, but I don't know. TK already distrusting Gabe and when TK came back to the Blue Tribe, immediately he was like, these are my people, all the guys were together, but now, TK mistrusts Gabe. Seems like Gabe's kind of on an island right now. I don't know if I had to guess. Anyways, back to Red. Asia makes her way back to the Red Tribe, and she's immediately met by Teeny, who knows her from Rob Has a Podcast. So I saw it on Twitter. Shout out Mike Bloom. He's put it out there, or I don't know if it was Mike Bloom. Somebody put it out there about when Izzy saw Sari on Big Brother and was like, I know everything who you are and what I know your son's Jared, who's right here, but we can't say anything because that'll out me as this huge nerd. So Teeny and Asia get together. That's a good alliance, a gamer alliance, know-it-all alliance. They know a lot about this game. They consume the same content. Asia's on the freaking content, so I'm here for this alliance. Digging the Red Tribe so far, besides Rome, who makes the classic idiotic mistake of running off and trying to find the idol right away. It's we're 47 seasons into the show, bro, and you're doing this again. And he doesn't know anyone's finding him or seeing him. But he actually does find it, so I will give credit for that. So he's got to do his whole task now. So back on Blue Tribe, Gabe loops in Sue about the idol, and she helps distract him while he gets another box in the box for a full idol rather than just an idol for one tribal council. Sue's like, hey, the fire's looking really good. That's their code word, so that was good for Gabe that Sue's looking out for him, but now half the tribe knows that he has something, so not as good. But Gabe is going to find it, and there's another one that he needs to find now, so we'll see what happens with that. Back on Yellow Tribe, Andy is having a rough time at night. It's flashback to Ben from last season. This time he goes to Rachel, and Rachel's like, dude, you can't pull me to the side. I don't know. They kind of made it seem like Rachel's kind of coming off scummy or just strategic. I don't know. I didn't like that for Rachel's edit. If we're talking about the edit, sorry if that offends you. But it doesn't work. She's like, no, I can't do this right now. This looks sketchy, and they go back to bed. It makes us look like we're going to stick out in a bad way. And Andy starts to really feel it. He thinks he's the least popular in his tribe. He's starting to get really anxious, and John's like, hey, I don't really appreciate that anxiety. I don't know if that's going to be a good partnership moving forward. This should have been the moment for John to jump ship, I guess, if he could have changed anything. I don't even know what you could change for John. Maybe just hitch your wagon to somebody else. But he did pull Andy to the side at the beginning. So, clockwork, it works like that, I guess. So just tough breaks for John. So back on Blue Tribe, Gabe wakes up to grind. He breaks the log, just Donkey Kongs it, as he says. And now there's another box. This one was for a three tribal idol. One more for a full tribal. He has to do something else to get one for a full immunity idol that lasts the final 5. He's like, I've done enough, and I agree. 3 tribals is pretty good in the pre-merge. You basically make the merge if you think you're in trouble. I think Gabe could throw that shit out there. They just watched season 46 where no one used their idol. If Gabe feels in danger. He's clearly on the outs. This could be an idle play situation, and you could get like a who's on Blue Tribe. Maybe my girl Sienna goes. Like I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here. You know, trying to envision it, but I don't know. Gabe has an idol, good for 3 tribal councils, so good for him. Back on Red Tribe, Rome is doing his task, looking for it. He needs to like soak the log and see the text on the log. But Asia sees him looking, and she says, "Oh, I see you, gamer." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, she didn't see me looking for the idol." Dummy, you were looking very hard, bro. He does say that, you know, she was looking very hard, or he was looking very hard, but not good. And Asia's so good at this already, where she's able to pull basically the whole tribe against him. She's having a 5-person convo when he's the one person over there. It's like, this is not good for him. But his key is at the bottom of the well, which is fucking crazy. He's like halfway in the well. This is a good image for the episode. He's just like halfway into the well looking for it, throwing up rocks. He finally finds the key, drenched himself in half the well. Not sure that that's very sanitary, but I guess that's what we're doing. So back onto the first challenge, which I think might be the fastest immunity. Where did all the time in this episode go, really? Like, this felt like a very fast episode. But immunity and reward is on the line. You have to row a boat, get to the land, make a puzzle. Red wins immunity and reward pretty fast, so it comes down to blue and yellow. Andy is just fading, and this was like, I think this happened in the premiere of season 44, where we saw Brandon. It hit him pretty hard. I know if I was out there not drinking enough water, not having enough sustenance, I might be liable to pass out. Forget I said that if you're listening to Survivor candidates casting, but you know, I've been cleared. It's been 3 years since I passed out, so we're good. Yeah, so he gets like the kind of not the edit, but like the music and the kind of fading of the thing. So it's like he's really going through it. He pulls off to the side, lays down. This first challenge in the new era has been brutal, I feel like. We saw Bruce go out in 44. We saw Brandon was out in the first immunity challenge. I forget if anything else happened in the last 2 seasons, but yeah. So he's on the ground. Jeff's like, "Hey, you good?" And he's like, "They were gonna vote me out. I gave it everything. It's not over, bro." And Andy's like, "It's not," or not Andy. Jeff's like, "It's not over, dude. Get on with it. Like, the game, you haven't even lost yet." And then once blue wins and yellow is headed to tribal council, back in the mat, Andy's good. And he says the thing out loud about how when he cracked the coconut, no one cheered for him, but everyone cheered for John. This is like straight like anxiety demons, and I can't be like calling him out for it, because every human has the same thought. No one likes me, blah blah blah. They're cheering for him, they're not cheering for me. Why would you vocalize this? And this Andy guy is a fan of the game. He's a famously an RHAP patron, actually. So he's heavily invested in survivorship. Why wouldn't you just deep breath? Okay, you know, I almost faded. I felt like I was gonna get voted out. I want to work with you guys. You know, let me be your like ship in the night. You know, let me be the compass. I don't know. I'll take all the bullets for you. Like, I don't know. This was just really bad. So he even mentions that he's gonna throw John under the bus in order to stay. I was like, why would you say this? That was crazy to me, but I guess it ends up working because he ends up staying. So coming back to Yellow Tribe camp before the tribal council, John's panicking a little bit because they might throw him under the bus now because Andy did. But it seems like it's actually Andy they're going to vote out, because that's what the girls tell him. We're just going to say it's you to him, and then we vote you out, or we vote Andy out. Andy tries to turn it on Annika. He doesn't want to vote John. They want to pull in Sam and Sierra. Sam's having none of that, and he wants to turn it on John. He thinks John's smart. John's a gamer. And, you know, if we're talking edits here, Sam was the one who said, let's get John. So what does that mean? I think Sam's looking in a pretty good position, but we'll get to that in a second. So they've pumped me out with Andy. I thought Andy was gone for sure. He gets his little moment at Tribal Council where he gets to talk about how it was a great journey and he's overcome everything. And, you know, if he leaves now, it's good. I thought he was goner for sure, but that's just spelling the writing on the wall for next episode. And yeah, we get a 5-1 vote. John Lovett, the first person voted out as Survivor. Youch, bro. I'm sorry you left your podcast. I thought you could be. It seemed like he was out early. I don't know why. It just seemed like he was going to be one that was out early and not long for this game, but I didn't think it was going to be that early. So we lose John Lovett, episode 1, most famous person on Survivor in like 5 years. So that sucks. Hopefully people tuned in and want to stick along for the ride, but that was kind of like a 6 or 7 out of 10 episodes, so I'm not sure that people will. John Lovett, if you ever want to come on the pod, you're welcome to. If you want to have me on your podcast, I'll come on that for sure. And yeah, feels bad, man. Hopefully, he can get back. He'll get back on Pod Save America, figure things out. Only 3 days in the wilderness. Dream dead. Sorry, man. It's fucking crazy that Andy survives this. But that's when you think about it next level, like it makes sense because Andy's just such an easy target for next time. Like it's dead obvious that you can just cop him at any time. So good for them, man. They made the move that was best for them. Excited to see where this season moves going forward. I feel like we can kind of open things up a little bit more now that we have the base dynamics laid. I want to learn more about Tiana. I'm already ruling people out episode 1 for winning. I don't think Tiana's winning. I don't think Genevieve's winning. I don't think Soul's winning. I don't think Caroline had a couple things, but like there's people you can already rule out because we just basically saw nothing of them. Kyle, I don't think is really high up there. So with that being said, I'll go into my top 3 winners and then my top 3 next out. Top 3 winners right now. It's early. It's first vibes. It's day 1. It's episode 1. I'm not good at this edgic shit and reading the writing on the walls. I thought Charlie was winning last season. I don't know what's going on. So I picked one person from each tribe that I think has the best prospects of winning the game. So let's do that. So Blue Tribe, Sue. Very connected at the hip. Seems like she has the most connections to everybody. Gabe is erratic. Tiana, they didn't show it all. Who else is on Blue? Kyle didn't really show it all. Caroline didn't really show it all. And who am I missing? I can't even think of who I'm missing. So there you go. That's Blue Tribe. Sue, I think, is just, she doesn't have the prototypical build for winning a game in the new era, but, it seems like every year in the new era, somebody different wins the game. So some sort of different play style, some sort of different personality, different character, So Sue, I have in my top 3 for the Blue Tribe. Yellow Tribe, I already alluded to it. My boy Sam, he didn't start off that quote at the beginning. I didn't like it at all, but that doesn't mean anything. He got a quote right off the boat, so I think that's a good sign. I think he was the main figurehead for this vote, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it's building up his game ability. We saw him with the glue guy quote. He's very well connected. He had more strategic input than a lot of the Yellow Tribe, in my opinion. So I like Sam a lot for the Yellow Tribe. And Red Tribe, no bias cooking, Asia. Red Tribe seemed like they had kind of a lesser episode. It's probably between Asia and Teeny. I did forget about Teeny. Teeny seems like she has gone a good trajectory, but I'm going to go with Asia. She comes back after a tough situation, is able to ingratiate herself into the tribe and just completely turn it on Rome. So good job, Asia. You're my pick. You're my number 3 right now to win. Close number 4 would be Teeny, and then number 5, maybe Rachel. Not Rachel. I don't know. Top 4, but we do a top 3 here. So after that, we'll do top 3 out next. Number 1, Andy. Obvious. Do I even need to say why? They did put him in the preview, and that's kind of a red herring. So maybe if Yellow loses next time, they won't. I don't know. Maybe Yellow won't lose next time. But if it's Yellow goes, it's got to be Andy, right? I mean, you can't vote out Sam. Maybe it's Annika. Sierra seems well connected. Rachel, I don't really know what her vibe is, so maybe Rachel or Annika, if not Andy. But it seems like pretty obvious that Andy would go next. Red Tribe, Rome. Everyone's against him. Seems pretty obvious there as well. If not Rome, I don't even know who it would be. It's like he has nobody. Maybe Genevieve. I don't know. Blue Tribe, Gabe. But thinking it through, he has the idol now. He might play. He might get trigger happy. I don't know. But if I had to pick someone to be Gabe, so top 3 out next. One from each tribe as well. We have so many people to pick from. I'm not narrowing it down between tribes. I'm not getting that specific yet. I feel like this is a very laid back episode. We got the full view of everything. Now we need to get into the specifics, hit the ground running. So just to recap, top 3 winners, Sue, Sam, Asia. Top 3 out next, Andy, Rome, Gabe. So solid first episode. Not the best premiere, probably. Last year, our season 46 was better. Season 45, was maybe worse just because, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to think about premieres in the day. Obviously, 44s was pretty good. 43s was pretty good. 42 was solid, I think. So this might be one of the worst premieres in the era, bro, if I'm being real. Might be the worst. But still a good episode, still Survivor. We're back. Stay tuned. Weekly content, Survivor. We got you on the Dubcast. And yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, dislike. Leave your thoughts below. Where am I wrong? Where am I right? So join me sometime between Wednesday night and Thursday every week for a Survivor episode. And hoping to pull in some of my friends. Just did this one alone because I have to wake up in about 7 hours and walk my dogs. So be easy, y'all. Survivor 47, we here.